Echo. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Furbabies Summit. We are here still on Saturday. We're coming up for our next session with Trevor MacKellar, who is one of the owners of an amazing store that's actually local to us here in Austin called Healthy Pet. And I have a lot of great things to say about Trevor and Healthy Pet. And Healthy Pet is not a big Healthy Pet is not a big box shop. Say that fast 5 times. It's very different, and they have a lot of different options and a lot of different things that they offer to our community here in Austin. And it's been such a joy having them here in town. And I remember when they first came in and started to open. So we are extremely happy to have Trevor here with us today, because I can't tell you how busy he stays. But he's kind enough to join us, and wanted to just kind of talk about Healthy Pet, and what your inspiration was for starting this, and kind of how it started, and where it's going right now. So Trevor, thank you for coming on with us, and I will turn that over to you for a second.
Well, thanks for having me first and foremost. I've been listening along to all your great speakers, and a lot of good people in the pet community. But to dive right in, I knew I always wanted to own my own business, and I never really knew what it was until my first job. And I started working when I was 16 in the pet industry. I worked at a local store in Beverly Hills, Michigan. It was called Premier Pet Supply. It was a part-time job that turned into so much more. I really fell in love with the industry, the ins and outs of everything that was going on. In addition, we got to help pets and get to see pets come in on a daily basis. It turned into a true passion of mine. I worked there for about 7 years, and really just learned every aspect of the pet industry. From there, an opportunity arose to move out to Austin, Texas, and open our first location. We opened our first location here in June of 2012, and fast forward to now, we're approaching our 10th year, and we now have 4 locations here in the Austin area, and it really just kind of went back to the basics as far as having that mom and pop style feel. When you come in, you're treated like family. We always joke that we're kind of like your personal shopper when you come through the doors, and we want to be a sounding board. We want to be able to educate you with all the pet products that we have to offer. We even have do-it-yourself dog washes where you can bring your pets in, mainly dogs, but I have seen some brave souls do the cats, but at your own risk. Yeah, and that's essentially what we do on a daily basis. We always joke that we're like the Whole Foods of the pet industry.
That's a good analogy for it. You are like the Whole Foods of the pet industry. I love that. That's awesome. So there's 4 stores now. And so you guys are definitely different than a lot of the big box stores out there, and just like some of the food lines that you carry, both for cats and dogs. And I've seen it grow even since I've been coming, and I've been going there for years now. I can attest. One thing Trevor will jump into is they have different options for our pets. And so, sometimes I'll give you an example. I had one of my boys came down, he got kidney disease, and it was pretty severe. And there were so many things that he just could not or would not eat. Right. And so I had gone through probably about 15 different kinds of cat food. And I went to Healthy Pet, and I met Trevor and was talking to Trevor about, this is what he has, and this is what I'm looking for. And I need something lower in phosphorus, and just these number of things that go along when you have a kidney cat. And Trevor was just sort of like a lighthouse on the beach shore. And I was in the middle of the ocean bobbing up and down, because he goes, no, we have things, we can help. So they did. And it just amazed me, because I didn't know that was even available. I didn't know that there were that many other types of food out there and available that they could order and bring in and have access to and educate about. Because up until that point, I had just really known the commercial stores. So that was something really new and really great. And it helped my cat tremendously, because then he started eating the food that I brought home for him. So Trevor, can you share with us a little bit how you guys are different from those big commercial stores, and just some of the different options that you have, or issues that you see fur baby parents coming in for, looking for different things or specific things for their littles, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're very particular with anything that we bring in, whether from toys, supplements to food in particular. And one of our guidelines is no wheat, no corn, no soy, no byproducts, or no fillers in any of the dog or cat foods that we carry. And by doing that, that really kind of limits you to more like the specialty lines, like away from like the mainstream science diet and IAMS, Eukanuba, Royal Canine, all the foods that you hear a lot about wouldn't fall into our guidelines just to even get on the shelf. And what's crazy to think is all of those foods, they use all those lines, and the reason they use those products and the fillers is sadly American greed. They're making more money by being able to put that products in there. And we focus on more like the specialized food that are free of all that. And you'll be pleasantly surprised too when you do come in. The price is comparable, if not cheaper, a lot of the times. And we have something for everyone. We have from the starting all natural food to more of like the high end, from dry food to raw food. And we really try to get every diet taken care of. When you came in, cat food, is definitely one thing that we pride ourselves in. We have an entire wall of cat food. We have a whole aisle dedicated to the kitties, because the kitties definitely want to be separated and have their own space. And we have a lot of foods that basically mimic some of the vet diets that customers are being put on to help their fur babies with longevity, especially with like kidney disease and things like that. That's a big one in cats, and they have a tendency to get kidney disease, and it's from the bad foods in the beginning, kind of getting them to that point. We have a lot of foods that do have that low phosphorus, and we promote the wet food diets for the kitties, because adding more moisture in the diet is key to any kitty's diet, but especially when you're dealing with like kidney disease.
And you guys also carry some of the, like I know you have the freeze-dried raw foods, and you have some of the other, you have some of the other raw foods in there too. And I know I had started using some of that after that particular case, which helped with some of the next ones. But can you tell us about those kinds of things too? Like, do you have a lot of people that are coming in that are asking for those as well, or?
Definitely. They're coming in asking for everything, and we really try to cater to every type of diet, from dry food to wet food to even like the dehydrated and the freeze dried, as well as the raw diets. Our philosophy, because raw diets can get a little bit scary as far as like, oh, I'm feeding my dog raw food or my cat raw food. And then also the fact that, it can tend to get a little bit more expensive. But what you'll find is when you do feed a raw diet, you see those dogs and cats with those beautiful coats and the pearly white teeth. That's all from a raw diet. The natural enzyme in the raw food is going to eat away at the tartar buildup better than anything on the market. It's going to be a lot lower carb, because any kibble, is, higher in preservatives, higher in carbs, things like that. So to add raw into the diet, it's going to be more beneficial for the animal. In addition, you're going to notice less waste, because they're utilizing everything that's going into the body. So less waste means less poop, which is always a fun thing when we're picking it up in the backyard. But you'll notice less vet visits, because they're really getting true benefits from all the nutrition that's going into their body. So we try to have a verse supply of all different foods for everyone. And we also kind of go under the rule of thumb that any raw is better than no raw. And we understand like everybody's busy day lifestyle, raw takes a little bit more dedication as far as like taking the raw patties out the night before, making sure they're thawed out, making sure the bowls are extra clean so, they're not susceptible to bacteria and things like that. So we really like the full balance of doing a little bit of dry, a little bit of raw, a little bit of wet, and kind of pair them all together, if you will, to, build a better bowl for your pet.
I think that's a great point as far as building balance with it, because we've talked to several people that, and I know you and I have talked about this extensively. There's so many people out there that have different needs when they're feeding. So we may have our fur babies here in the house, and then we've got our groups and our rescues that are out there helping the ferals, and they're helping, at the shelters. And so we see a lot where there is that place for the kibble, for the dry food, and then there's tiers and spots for the wet food, and then you've got the other end where you've got the freeze dried coming in, and you've got a bit of the raw coming in. And so I think that's one thing we've all noticed: when they've got a good balance, a good nutrition, it really helps keep them healthier and helps stave off having big issues that take them to the vet, things like that, and problems with their teeth. Can we ask you, what's been one of the biggest surprises so far in running Healthy Pet, from the time y'all got started to kind of now? Because I know that changes, and I know that has changed a bit.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things is how fast the community just embraced the local atmosphere and really wanted us to succeed, and really helped us in every way to grow as fast as we did, and just from word of mouth and telling people that we existed, and just come supporting us on a daily basis. And it's been very rewarding too, to be able to educate the community as far as what they're feeding their dogs and cats, and giving them a healthier lifestyle. And a lot of times they just didn't know, or we get all the time, customers come in at their wits' ends, just like, my dog's itchy, scratchy, or vice versa, or my cat is pulling out his hair, so many different usually like allergy related issues, and we're able to fix them, and then we're fixing them with nutrition. And it's so rewarding to see, like, from the first time that they came in, to be like, nope, I've tried everything, it doesn't work, I just have to do a steroid, or I have to do Benadryl or things like that. And then giving us the chance to really kind of change up their diet, and through like the process of elimination diet, figure out what works, what doesn't work, and then they're coming back in like, can I have a hug?
I know we've done that. And then you go back to your vet and you say, hey, this was recommended as a possibility, and I've tried it, and this is like, you can see we're on the checkup, you can see what's happened. And then my vet was like, oh, that's that's great. Yeah, stay on that, keep doing that. And you guys, so y'all are another one of our speakers that, and I say, like, you've harnessed the power of social media, and you have. I know in the very beginning it was a completely different landscape on Facebook, but fortunately in the last few years, you guys have really gotten out there and done so much with social, and it's grown your presence a lot. You've got a lot of followers. You guys do a lot of events and things like that for the community. Can you tell us some about that and how that's raised awareness for what you guys are doing?
Definitely. One of the big parts of running a small business is you have the opportunity to be out in the community. And really, when I opened up the first store, I wanted to be more than just the four walls that were contained, and really just be an extension of the community. And it didn't always have to be like, okay, are you here for this dog event or this cat event? Sometimes it's being able to support the local gymnastic team or the local swimming team, and having the flexibility and that ability to do that as a small business is a true passion of ours. And it's pretty cool to see how fast the community embraced that. And we even have, sometimes our employees now, they started coming in, as like, Boy Scouts or brownies with the troop leader selling cookies in front of our store to now being team members. So it's pretty cool to be able to, watch them grow and help, and in turn they're helping us grow, and being able to really convey the message of who we are, what we are, and what we're trying to accomplish. And it's really just, getting better, pet nutrition in everyone's every dog and cat's life. And longevity is the key, because, unfortunately our fur babies don't live as long as we do. And being able to prolong that is key. And we've truly been able to do that with good, healthy products.
So one question that we have, or two actually. One, I know the questions are coming. You guys also offer different delivery options now too, right? Delivery
We do.
and shipping?
That's one of the, I guess, silver linings of, the pandemic that we all had to endure. When it happened, we had to really pivot how we do business. And overnight, it went from, people coming in, being able to interact with the customers, to curbside pickups and deliveries. And it literally flipped a switch. Like the first stay-at-home order that happened in Texas, I mean, our website went from 0 to 100 overnight. And luckily my team was able to really pivot and answer to the demand. And, we went from probably doing, I would say, maybe two deliveries a week to now we're doing 50 plus a day. And now we have 2 delivery vans on the road, and we do free delivery in the Austin market.
Are you guys going to start shipping?
We actually do ship as well. We don't advertise like the shipping and like the reoccurring deliveries that we offer just yet, because we're still always trying to improve and make the customer experience better. The same customer experience that you're gonna get when you go into all the stores. And when you're dealing with website and developing, it gets a little cumbersome, and you want to just make sure everything is running perfectly before you just open the floodgates, if you will. So we do it. We just don't advertise it extremely yet. But we're shipping, I would say, probably 5 to 10 packages a day out of Texas.
So that's going to be a longer goal for you guys to perfect that route and then get that out there and start advertising about it then. So
absolutely. We're constantly trying to make things better, and make it the same type of experience as if you would go into the store. And I think we've, over the years, our website has had a lot of renditions and has grown with the demand. Our most recent one has been working really well, and we're in the process of building a brand new one and extending on what that one already is accomplishing, and making it better.
And then your floodgates are really going to open.
Sadly,
but I can say, oh, go ahead.
Sadly, it seems like, even if we don't advertise it, the community has been so great, word of mouth, I mean, it's basically open anyway. So we really don't have time to rest, and we really just have to figure it out on the fly.
So how long was the first store open before you decided to take the leap and open the second and then the third?
The first one opened June of 2012. And it was about 3 years before I opened the second location, which is the Lakeline location. And building our foundation and our reputation, took a long time, as far as like understanding what we did there. And from opening 1 to 2, it was probably the hardest thing that I've ever had to do, because it's the first time I couldn't be in 2 places at once physically. And so I really had to, kind of step back and figure out all the things that, I was doing, like tying my shoes, and things that like I didn't realize that, oh, I do this on a daily basis. I got to figure out how to now have this person do that at that store, because I can't be there. So it was definitely a transition for me. But from 2 to 3, then we opened, I believe, in the 2017, we opened the third store, which is downtown next to Trader Joe's. And then most recently we opened in 2020, which was a tough year for everyone. We opened our 4th location, which is in Bee Cave.
And what is the best seller that you guys have that kind of surprised you so far?
Whew,
or two?
That's a hard question. You know, one of the things that we sell a ton of is just like our bakery style cookies. And they're right at the front counter. And I think being at the front counter, and we have an open style glass bakery case where, you know, people can add on to their purchase and really spoil their dog right in front of you. and we get a lot of those for sure. And we get the dogs trying to jump up and kind of help themselves, which that happens.
I've seen that happen. Tell us about Vicky.
Biggie was my French bulldog. He helped me open the first store, and he became a legacy over at the original location. He touched a lot of hearts, including mine. That was another hard part of 2020. We lost Biggie, but he lived a long, good life for a French bulldog. I mean, he was 14 years old, and he was a good boy, man. He was my he was my right hand man for sure. And he would do anything for a treat, let me tell you. I mean, he would pull every customer up to the treat counter, letting them know that, you know, time for another one.
He would say, "I've not had anything yet today. Can you get me a treat?"
We could skip dinner sometimes because he was getting a little chunky then. I don't know.
Go down?
Probably have to go farther back to see Biggie, but he was a brindle French bulldog. But he's in our new website. Our new about us is not up there, so I don't know if you'll see him up there.
We'll have to post a picture of him. He was a sweetheart.
He'll be back. I think I have a picture right here. He's in here.
There he is.
Rest in peace.
So with that, though, you guys have Vickys Blog, which you have so much education, so many helpful articles and resources out there for other fur baby parents. And so that's another cool aspect of the website. It's something that you guys chose to give back to our community and to anybody else who finds it. We wanted to ask, when you are opening one of the new stores and when you brought on new employees, how much training on the products that you guys have and animal health do you have to do with your staff?
You know, the training never stops, including me. And we learn so much from, you know, customers coming in, you especially. I mean, I've learned a lot about kitties that, you know, I didn't know before. And you really got to, you know, open ears and listen to not only your customers, the reps that come in that represent all the products that we carry. And you're constantly learning, we're constantly improving, we're constantly figuring out how we can do things better, and just learning new things about pet nutrition. You know, so it never really stops. And then right when you think you finish, you do it all over again as a refresher. But the cool thing about most of like the vendors that we partner up with, they come in for like lunch and learns, and, you know, do aisle trainings, and do kind of like little mini summits with my staff, to, you know, constantly, you know, learn the product. But then, you know, a lot of times they'll give us free product to, you know, be able to have like what we call employee feeding programs, so they can kind of see it firsthand with their own pets, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. That is awesome.
The training never stops.
Let's see. What other questions do we have, you guys? So that I'm not talking your ear off, because I know I could do that. That's yes, thank you. Are there any, and I think we had talked about this. I know you guys have a lot of causes and things, but are there any of the charities that are near and dear to you guys, to your heart?
You know, we deal with a lot of local rescues throughout Austin, and we constantly try to give back to you know, more of the low key or smaller rescues from cat to dog, and we're constantly giving anytime someone buys a product, for instance, and it like didn't work, we give them the ability to be able to return it. I mean, we have probably the easiest return policy there is. If it doesn't work or you're not happy with it, bring it back. Because we never want you to be stuck with something that didn't work for your dog or cat. So as you can imagine, we do get a lot of open returns from dog and cat food, especially that we're able to give back. And we have, I would say, 10 or 15 local rescues like on a rotation that they're coming in once a week. Once we get a full cart of open goods, we call them up, we load their car. So it's pretty rewarding to be able to do that, because we're not throwing it away by any means, and there's a cat or dog that's going to be able to use what was returned, which is cool.
I think that's phenomenal. And you guys do have a very easy return policy, and it's such that if you buy a case of canned food and you go through 2 cans of it and your cat's just like, nope, not today, you can go back and just change it out for something else or return it. And it's been so streamlined and smooth, and then you can try something different. So we have a question. What so far, what makes for a good, healthy pet employee? And are you looking for good animal lovers with your staff, or big animal lovers with your staff?
Good question. I mean, being able to be personable and, sit down and, talk to anybody, and being able to be approachable, because we're constantly, like I said, being everyone's personal shopper, and you have to have fun with it, and you have to have a smile on your face. We're not like your typical retail, and being that we're a healthy pet, usually people come in here because they're happy, they want to spoil their dog or cat, and so it's not like get your stuff and get out type atmosphere. It's normally come in and hang out. Come in and let your dog strut his stuff down the aisle, and a lot of times it's an outing for them. We're constantly having dogs come in and doing like the dog wash, so they'll be able to get their pup all clean, and then usually they're getting a new collar or toy or what have you. But we need that employee to be able to be engaging, be able to learn the pet's likes and dislikes, and be able to learn the products so they can better educate the customers that are coming through the door. So it's really that passion for pets and people.
And you guys also, before I forget, or so that I don't forget, you guys also have not just the food, you have a bevy of food options, but you also have treats, like you were saying, the bakery goods at the front. You have a prolific amount of different toys. There's so much catnip. My cats love the catnip. I gift that catnip out now. I'm not even going to kid you. I will go and get the catnip and just give it to friends. Here, give this to your cat. It's just, there's something about that catnip. But you guys have so many different treats and everything, ranging from dishes and bowls and toys, and the jackets, cones even. I think I found a cone there when I had 2 of them that just did not fit our dog. There's just such a different variety of things, but all of it is curated, and it all has a purpose, and it all follows this bucket of, we want to do something good for our fur babies and help them be healthier and help them be happier. And so thank you. So so these are some of the babies that have been into the store. So they're it's just a fun place. And there is the dog wash too. I have never seen someone come in with a cat before. I don't know that I would be brave enough, but
to do it. But like I said, you have to risk, because cats might not love it as much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, selection, like we have one of the biggest toy selections in the pet market in our area, biggest treat selections in our area, and different variety of dog and cat foods as well, in addition to supplements.
That was the other thing. Yes, you guys have a really robust section of supplements and different things that you can use that are on the other side. I can't think of the right word. I'm so sorry. But the other side of helping. So we have our vet side and then we have the other side. So you guys have a lot of that stuff in the store and can actually talk about it.
Yeah, we
So,
definitely we try. I mean, there's so many things that, we're learning along the way. Like one of the things that, kind of surprises people is the amount of knowledge that we do have on pet nutrition, as well as the supplements and, what supplement would good to work as like an anti-inflammatory and, what product like such as turmeric, as a natural anti-inflammatory and like finding those key components in a lot of like the pet supplements that we carry, and being able to have natural ways to fix hips, joints, inflammation, dog anxiety, cat anxiety. We have a big selection of like the CBD products that really helps with obviously hips, joints, dog anxiety. Also, reducing tumor growth and for dog and cats with like cancer. So it's pretty rewarding to be able to have so many great products that really prolong our loved ones. Bottom line.
I think that's been one of the largest differences between you guys and some of the other stores, just because it's everything, like I said, is curated and it's chosen really carefully. So that's been something that's been very helpful. So we were curious, how did the dog wash fundraiser go today?
I haven't looked at the numbers yet, but we love doing the dog wash fundraiser. And the cool thing about the dog wash fundraiser is open. Granted, the main event was from 10 to 1, where the AJK Family Rescue is there actually washing the dogs. But what we do anytime we do a big fundraiser like this is we waive the fees from the time we open to the time we close, and all the proceeds from the dog wash that day we donate back to the rescue. So we wait till 8 o'clock when we close, and hopefully it's a big number and we can cut them a good check for the rescue. But I'll have to report back to you on that. But if anyone is looking to do a rescue to help raise funds for their local rescue, such as Sandy with the cat rescue, we could arrange setting something like that up. In the Christmas season, we typically do what they call a giving tree. The cool thing about the giving tree is we set up a tree at every single location, and all the pets are made into ornaments, and kind of like their wish list is on there. And it's so rewarding to see how giving the community is around that time of year, and we're constantly filling these carts and these bins for these rescues with all sorts of pet products.
I just love that so much. That is awesome. We'll have to post that in the group too and let them know. That's really cool.
You can set someone up. I would love to do that. And then, with any of the rescues that they work with, or if they want to get on our rotation as far as the open products, I'd be happy to be able to set that up as well.
Thank you.
Being able to give back is the best part of our job, for sure.
That is yes. Before I geek out about it, I'll just say thank you. And we'll definitely let them know. We'll put that and put you in the chat and in the group so that everybody knows that. So there is gosh, it doesn't feel like it's been 30 minutes. It's crazy. You guys have, you've accomplished so much in really kind of a short period of time. What goals are coming up for Healthy Pet for the rest of 2022 and into the next year or 2 years? Deep breath.
Some of the goals is, just, fine tuning our processes and, being able to, offer, a better customer experience in store and online, and, finding the right people that can really convey why we opened in the first place. And then hopefully we can get to the point where we can expand our reach and get into more communities, and be able to accomplish that farther than what we currently are doing. And by being able to do that is, finding the right people to, get to that point, definitely. So.
And we keep growing the following.
Yes.
So what do you do? A lot of people want to know, what do you do to recharge your batteries?
I have two littles at home, as well as a golden retriever and a kitty. And so me and my fiance, when I do get home, it's playing with the kids. So I guess I don't get much time to recharge because I have a 6 and 8-year-old girl at home, and they're a run for my money for sure. Like, Daddy, can we play on the trampoline? Daddy, watch this gymnastic movie. Daddy, 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 Daddy. So, but for me, that's fun. I mean, I love that, and definitely when it's time to hit the pillow, I fall right asleep. So it doesn't take long. But
well, they definitely light your face up, so we know that's a huge thing. It's a great thing that you have them.
Yeah.
So it's
they're fun too, and they're they're both in Girl Scouts, and recently, back to like the dog wash events, we were able to, this was really cool, they earn patches for different various things that they do, from bake sales to selling cookies, and I was proud this year they were able to earn their healthy pet patch, and they did a volunteer event, and they got to pick a rescue of their choice, and the girls actually came out to the store and they did the dog washing. So the girls were all out there. One group was checking them in at the front of the store, and then the other group was actually washing the dogs for the charity event. So they were able to earn a little healthy pet patch that are now on their little sashes and uniforms, which I thought was really cool.
that is awesome. That is really cool. And you've just got a megawatt grin on your face, so that's even better. So, well, yeah, he says it's definitely obvious that your joy is what you do and your work is not work. Yeah. I know you do a lot. I've seen you running from one place to the other before, and it's like, which store are you on today? 3. Okay. Or 2. I mean,
the most I've sat still, I would say the whole month is right now.
Yeah.
Because you got me cornered at being on the Zoom call, but typically I'm at this store or that store and jumping around. Sometimes I hit all 4 locations in one day, and I really try to kind of jump around to be involved as much as I can.
And to give you guys that are listening an idea, Austin, we don't really measure it so much in miles. We kind of measure it in time, because it can take you 45 minutes to drive 17 miles, or it can take 10, depending on the time of year. But usually, I mean, these are all about, well, from up here to the original store is about 24 miles. So it's pretty, it can be pretty intense when you're coming back out of rush hour. So you are always going, always going.
Going back to your question, how do I recharge? I think it's from store to store, and sometimes I turn the radio off and just drive.
Just drive. Just breathe and drive.
Silence. Phone's not ringing. Dogs aren't barking. Kids aren't yelling.
You're just in that little bubble of quiet. I feel you. So are you thinking of opening anything outside of Austin?
We are actually. We just I haven't fully announced it, I guess, to the public until now. But we're opening a store in the Kyle Buda area. They're opening a brand new Costco out that way, and we're going to be in they call it the Dry River District. Mm-hmm. And I would guess probably Q1 of 23 we'll be able to get the doors open. The reason I'm not 100% sure is because with supply chain issues and labor issues and construction cost issues, it's definitely up in the air. I'll give you an example. One of the things that we've been scrambling around the clock is just ordering shelving. Typically, I can order shelving for a location maybe a month out and still be able to get it when we need it. Right now it's a year turnaround. So we already ordered all our shelvings for a building that hasn't even got up to, it's dirt right now. It's not even a building. And that's nerve-wracking for me, because I had to scramble, build the layout, put where I'm going to put everything, put where I'm going to put the dog wash, where I'm going to put the registers before there's even a building. And that's not normal. So we've been working around the clock on the back burner, trying to make that happen. Luckily, we were able to do it, and the order has been placed. So now it's time.
Congratulations. That is intense. So I have to ask, how much have you guys experienced with the food shortages that are going on?
I would say until pretty much Q1 of this year, we kind of dodged a bullet for the most part. The biggest shortage that we've dealt with is anything that's canned. The canned food market took a big hit because I think what's happened, when we started getting our stay-at-home orders and people started clearing out the grocery stores, people started panic buying, right? And when they started panic buying, they were having to make so many more cans. And a lot of the pet industry uses the same canneries that people food is made in, because most of the foods that I carry is going to be human grade. And one of the big canneries, and there's not a lot of canneries out, had a huge contract with Costco, and Costco obviously became more and more demanding as people were clearing the shelves out and panic buying. And unfortunately, what happened is they had to drop some of the pet lines to just meet the demand of the people food. So all those pet companies that were making the food from these canneries had to kind of scramble and find another cannery to make their product. So that's why you'll see, like, you go into the store now, there'll be holes, if you will, and as much as they make me cringe, it's out of my control.
Yep. There have been a lot of holes. I know so many, I mean, really and truly, almost everyone that I talk to, depending on what they feed, they're like, we've had issues finding this food or this food or this food. I mean, and you go to some of the other stores and it's just bare. Yeah. It is unnerving, and it's really frightening, because you have a lot of people where they're feeding for a multitude of animals, and it's like, what do? You went to plan B, then you're on plan C and plan D. So those are another case where at least we do have the dry food to fall back on, because sometimes we just can't find the wet food anywhere. I think we're all hoping that we come out of this within hopefully by the end of the year, hopefully.
But short on food scares us the most, because sometimes it's the only thing their dog or cat will eat, or that their dog can eat. So we're constantly scouring different distributors and buying direct, and basically figuring out how we can, even if we can get a case here, a case there, we're always scrambling to try to keep our shelves full for all our customers that come through the door. We're constantly doing intercompany transfers, as far as like, hey, this store still has 10 cans, let's bring it up to this store, because we know Stephanie, that's the only thing her cat will eat. So we've done that, and we're happy to do that. Like I said, sometimes I'm at every location. There's usually transfers that come along with me.
There really are. That is one thing. They do a lot of inter-store transfers, and that's been a godsend too. So thank you. It's not just me, but there's a lot of people out there that they're grateful for that. I know. I wasn't gonna say this, but honest to God, last year over Black Friday, everybody's like, in the old days, I'm gonna go get a TV, or I'm gonna go get something, some material thing, and a lot of us are like, I got cat food, I got dog food, I got a shipping discount. This is awesome. Like, what did you buy? I got 5 cases, yay! But it was the truth. And that's just such a strange thing. If we had thought 3 years ago we would be having these conversations, we're like, no, but here we are. So
I never thought, no one did, right?
No one.
How to navigate through it. These last 2 years have been the hardest ever running a business.
And you guys fortunately were able to pivot on that and shift it to where you could do things curbside. And because we were having the same, trepidation of, oh my gosh, our stores are closed. How do we get, we have food for 2 weeks, but after that, what do we do? So that was a big help to the community too. So, well, is there anything else that you guys need that we can help with?
I mean, the biggest thing that I think that would help is just letting people know that we exist. Letting people know we're always looking for good, passionate people that want to work here as well. Labor's been really tough as far as finding, those happy and, engaging people that really love the pet industry, love pets, love people, and want to work. So send them our way. We start hiring at 16, and we mold them along the way. So, if your son or daughter is sitting on the couch, give us a call.
For everybody listening, we'll do that. We'll have a look. Well, awesome. I think, that's a really fast 40 minutes. I think this whole day has gone by fast. I think we are coming up on the end of our time, and I know you probably got a gazillion things that you've got to get back to. So thank you so much for coming on with us. I know we kind of put you in a room in the back in the box. Thank you. So we appreciate it.
Thanks for all the support over the years. We really appreciate you guys.
And you're on Healthy Pet is on Instagram too, right?
We're on all the social media.
Yes.
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, you name it. We're in there in some way, shape, or form. And
Okay. And the best way to connect with you guys?
Either through our website at healthypetaustin.com, coming into the store, or all our social media handles are Healthy Pet ATX, whether it be Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram.
Duly noted. One last question. Will you be shipping up to the Dallas area anytime soon?
We do already. We ship anywhere in the United States currently. So yeah, one of my friends who actually lived in Austin now lives in Dallas. Still a big supporter of ours, and we're shipping to him in the Dallas market, I would say, once a month. So
I've got a lot of good friends up in Dallas. So yeah. Well, awesome. Trevor, I hope you have a great rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your weekend. And I'm excited to find out what the numbers come out for the dog wash. That'll be cool. So, and we'll
share with everybody.
Okay. Definitely, we can post that in the group. Thank you.